Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm back. Quick video. I hope you follow the directions. Remember, I only asked you to make one batch of Play-Doh with the ingredients that I told you to use. I didn't give you any other directions. And I did ask you to write them down, and you need to write your form down, complete it, and send it. Well, I'm going to do just what I told you to do and kind of what I did the first time this was asked of me. I remember when they gave us the ingredients, and I'm like, well, this is like baking a cake. And this is previously what I measured out, by the way. I didn't want to waste any more than I had to. So, just like I'm going to make a cake. I mean, that's what I'm thinking, right? So I'm going to put in my flour. And I'm like, always do my dry ingredients first, right? I mean, again, I've made a few cakes in my day. Some you want to eat, some don't even go there, right? Okay, Chargers, so I've got this, and it's only Play-Doh, but even I know when I make a cake, I take my dry ingredients and I stir them up, and I got them all nice and mixed up. By the way, if you notice, my flour is not snow white. It's because I use unbleached flour. I prefer unbleached. So I did that. Well, I gave you the recipe. I must know what I mean. I'm just going to dump the water in. And voila, I'm going to get perfect Play-Doh, right? So I start stirring and stirring and stirring. And, ooh, gosh, I can make pancakes, huh? And I'm thinking, okay, it's starting to mix up like dough, and it's still kind of soft. But I'm using exactly what I said to use. I'm going to have to get my hands dirty, really? Oh, I didn't want to do that. But, this is pretty good, right? So I'm mixing it, and I'm remembering the whole time I've got to pass the snowman test. So, it's easy, just like a cake, right? Okay, good enough. So, I'm going to have to shape it because obviously it's kind of a blob. So I'm going to put my hands in here and what on earth is this? Here's my ball. Well, it's kind of sticky. In fact, what on earth could I have done wrong? I did what you told me to do. I did what I told myself to do. I did what I told y'all to do. I mixed it up like I knew, just like a cake. And I'm going, well, this is bad. Maybe I need more salt or more flour, but that's not what I told you could use, huh? How could I have gotten this blob that won't do any of the tests, will it? Not only that, it looks pretty enough to make biscuits. Maybe I should just heat it up, but I remember, guys, half of this is salt. I can't smell the salt, and I'm not even going to try to taste it. I've got nothing but a mess. How did I do that? I should know better. But then when I feel it, it feels gritty. I don't want gritty Play-Doh. My hands are a mess. What on earth am I going to do with this? How could I have bombed so beautifully? Yeah, it's a real bomb. But in the engineering design process, is there an exit arrow? No, there's no exit arrow. I've got definite improvement to do, right? I'm going to run off screen and get a paper towel. I had no idea I was going to end up with such a mess. Hold on, you can hear me. I hope I don't fall over anything in the classroom. You know how I am. And so, again, if you got a gritty Play-Doh, if you got a Play-Doh that didn't hold its form, welcome. You did what I asked you to do. Because, that's making a cake, right? Well, now I want to give you some hints on what to do when you make your second batch. Guys, I can feel the salt. I don't know if I'll ever clean this mess up. I hope I'm glad I don't sit at this desk, you know. Ugh, gross. Well, I meant for this to happen. I hoped it happened to you guys if you listened, because I didn't give any directions. Here are a few things we have to remember, and I find these out through research. Again, I've got to improve. This was a disaster. I got to ask myself, what did I do wrong? It's a simple, is it just a mixture? Oh no, I created a solution. I can't take these things apart. I created a solution. I can't take anything out. Somehow it was how it's the order I mixed my ingredients in. I wasn't thinking. Or I might have been thinking, but I'm going to tell you, the first time I did this, I thought this was the way to do it, and it wasn't right. In fact, the first time I made it, I actually had a whole thing of salt I poured in, and it just kept getting worse. It never got sticky and thick enough to hold the shape. So here are some things I want to tell you and share with you. And don't worry, don't write them down. You're going to find all the information you need posted in Google Classroom with the steps I want you to follow to start on your second batch and see if you get better. And I'm going to put these tips typed out so you don't have to remember. But this is what Miss Floyd forgot to remember. I got to remove these guys. I know I start to look like Marcy, don't I? Now I'm afraid to get my hands to get my glasses. Oh my, I am going to end up Play-Doh in my hair. Maybe what I need to do is, y'all, I'm filming this during my planning period. Should I make little balls of this and throw it at the kids as they come in? Oh, I know, I'd like to. That's just too mean. But, you know, I don't want to throw anything. Maybe I should just make little balls and sit in their chairs, and then they sit on it. No, I can't do that either, but y'all know how I am. I'm always teasing that way. Here's what I didn't consider. I didn't consider this. If I were, I don't want to waste any more, but this is not thick enough, is it? It's not a shape. One thing I want y'all to remember the second time you go with this is flour makes a mixture drier and less sticky. Well, this is very sticky. Obviously, I need to add some more flour, don't I? It also says adding salt makes a mixture grainier. Well, people, I don't want any more grainy than this. In fact, can I use this as a body scrub, you know, scrub my face, all natural products? I feel the grit. So I know salt-wise, I don't need any more, at least in these proportions. Oh, I knew this. Adding water makes the mixture wetter and stickier. Maybe I shouldn't have been so fast at just dumping the water. Yeah, and again, disaster. I forgot this one, ladies and gentlemen. How could I not remember? Honest, I'm not lying to you. I didn't remember the first time I was asked and have ingredients put in front of me just like I put them in front of you. I totally forgot. What happens when you put salt in water? The salt dissolves. If the salt dissolves, do I feel it? Ding, 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 ding. No, I don't. Well, I didn't think about that. Again, I'm not applying any heat to this, so I'm not getting a chemical reaction. I wonder if that's the reason when I make the cake, it's not grainy, because of the heat, which causes a chemical reaction. Here, all I did, these are just physical changes. I mean, it's still water, it's still flour, it's still salt. It's not easily separated, but they're still the same. I haven't added any heat. Maybe that's why when I bake it, it comes out right, and when I do this, it doesn't. If there is more water than salt, this is important, the salt can dissolve completely. If you put too much salt in your water, it won't dissolve anymore. You're like super saturating it. So if I were going to start over, I'm not going to dump all my salt in, because if I have too much salt, it won't dissolve. So hint, hint, I might go at it a little differently, but remember, this is a hint you're going to get. Salt dissolves in water. If there is more water than salt, the salt can dissolve completely. Another way to say it is, if there's more salt than water, your salt will not dissolve. Lastly, what's going to make this drier and make it more like Play-Doh so I can bend it, hold it, and not have stickiness? I kind of do this when I'm making cookies, cut out cookies at Christmas. I don't want them to stick to the table or the marble or the rolling pin. I add some flour. So maybe to this mixture, I need some flour to get out of this mess. This mess I cannot salvage. I'm going to tell you. I can add water all day long. If I add enough, and if I do get the salt to dissolve, guys, imagine this full of just this and water. I'm going to have to go buy like a 50-pound bag of flour to absorb the water, and I don't want to waste it. So, again, I'm going to attach for you guys in your Google Classroom these helpful hints, and I'm going to ask you to go back to improve, to ask yourself, imagine, make your plan again, and create another batch. You should be better than the first time, but maybe not perfect. It's okay not to be perfect. Don't make more than one batch. You've got all your due dates. That's just so you know when they're due by. No more than one batch at a time. And next week, with the new, your next YouTube video, you're going to get a perfect recipe. And let's see what you create this week. Compare it to the perfect recipe, and let's see if that's what we got. Because, ladies and gentlemen, if you were the chemical engineer and we were creating this to sell, trust me, we would be in the lab working and refining, imagining, we'd be planning, we would create again, we would improve, we'd have to ask ourselves what went wrong. This continues to go. There is no arrow out. We want to get it better. So I hope you enjoy it. Again, hope none of your parents got too crazy. You just heard how crazy I wanted to get with this, right? So if you work with your parents, try to keep them calm, because this is just like too much fun to get into, right? That was my first batch. Let's see what you do on the second batch. No research, nothing more than those few hints on what dissolves in what and blah, blah, blah. You got it? Okay, the Crazy Mad Scientist will be back with you next time. Have a great one. Bye now.